Welcome back to the show, everybody. We are expected to be joined in just a couple of minutes by Jeff Jarrett, WWE Hall of Famer, newly minted Hall of Famer, and of course the pride of Hendersonville, Tennessee. Big professional wrestling show coming up in the area in a few weeks. We're going to talk about that and talk about all things professional wrestling with the King of the Mountain, Jeff Jarrett, as we try to connect with him. As we said, in the meantime, the Titans preseason opener tomorrow night in Green Bay against the Packers. A couple things I want to keep my eye on, and that involves the offense. How much will we see from Dion Lewis in terms of not only in the run game but in the passing game? How much, what kind of tempo will Matt LaFleur have as a play caller? Remember, this will be the first NFL game that he'll be calling plays. New offensive coordinator for the Tennessee Titans. I want to see how Mike Vrabel manages the game. We're not going to get a whole lot in terms of what the Titans will be going forward in this game. It's going to be a vanilla game plan on both offense and defense. It'll be interesting to see how long the starters play. By the way, our own Steve Lehman will be in Lambeau Field tomorrow night to preview that game on NewsChannel 5 starting at 4. And we'll have post-game coverage as well. So Steve will be there in Green Bay as the Titans play that preseason opener against the Packers. And look, there's been a lot of anticipation for this year's Titans team. A lot of people were not happy with Mike Mularkey, especially his offense. They wanted him gone. Now he's gone. So now you got Mike Vrabel in there. And again, a guy that's never coached in the National Football League before, but he's learned from some pretty good coaches and some pretty good organizations. So, and I've talked to people about this before, just the fact that it's hard for me to get a feel on this year's Titans team because of all the newness, with the coaching staff and new head coach, 2 new coordinators. Of course, Dean Pease is an established defensive coordinator who's had a lot of success in Baltimore and some other stops. But again, last year and the year before with Mike Mularkey, you kind of had an idea of what this team was and what they were going to be. They had an identity. We don't know the identity of the Tennessee Titans under Mike Vrabel. We don't know what that will be. Now we'll get a better idea, hopefully, tomorrow night. You don't really worry about if they go out and win or not, but you just want to see crisp football, good tackling, good blocking, good plays on both sides of the ball. And, of course, special teams. Special teams can be a little shaky this time of year as we start the preseason. So, and even though we may not see Aaron Rodgers, if at all, tomorrow night, still a pretty good test for the Titans to go on the road to Lambeau to play what should be an improved Green Bay Packer team, a team that missed out on the postseason mainly because Aaron Rodgers got hurt last year. So a lot of unknowns for this year's Titans team as we head into the preseason. So it'll be interesting to see just how they come out and perform. And again, you don't necessarily, obviously they're keeping score, so you'd like to win, right? But you don't necessarily need a win. You need to see good execution on both sides of the ball, good fundamentals, blocking, tackling, guys getting open offensively. I want to see this receiving core get open, make some catches, make some plays down the field. I think Corey Davis needs to make a couple plays tomorrow night. You heard Adam, our previous caller, say he has concerns about the Titans wide receiving core. I have concerns about the Titans wide receiving core. And as we said, Corey Davis is having a darn good camp. He looks like he could be the explosive playmaker that the Titans need in the passing game, but we have to see it, and it has to be consistent. So preseason game number 1 tomorrow night for the Titans against the Green Bay Packers. Again, it all starts. Football's right around the corner. And right now, we're going to go from football to professional wrestling. We're going to talk with our good buddy, one of the friends of the show, one of the friends of NewsChannel 5 Sports, one of the newly inducted WWE Hall of Famers, the pride of Hendersonville, Tennessee. Our buddy Jeff Jarrett joins us. Jeff, how are you, man? Good to have you on.
John, easy on the intro, man. I'm a friend of the show. Relax.
Bro, I put you over, man. That's what I do. I'm a baby face.
John, good to hear your voice. I hope all's well. I hear that football chatter. It is that time. And one thing that's really, really cool about the event that we're going to talk about that's taking place this Friday, it is right before high school kicks off. This is the first Friday of kids back in school out here in Sumner County, and it's before football season. So we're looking to raise a lot of money and have a great time and have a great event this Friday.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in due course, but I got to talk about you, Jeff. I mean, I want to talk about your experience back at WrestleMania going into the WWE Hall of Fame. We all watched it on the WWE Network. We're happy for you. I know it was a big night for you and your family. What do you remember about that night?
John, I guess I haven't been back on the show since then. I know you came out beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. It was surreal. As I said in August, and it happened back April 6th. Ever since the announcement in late February, on the age, not to be overly dramatic, but life is completely changed.
We're having a little trouble with Jeff's phone. Hopefully he can get to a better spot. Jeff, we're going to ask you to try to get to a better spot and call us right back. Jeff Jarrett on the line. Big wrestling show to promote this Friday. We're going to try and reconnect with him. Jeff, you there?
I'm here. Can you not hear me?
Oh, yeah, we got you good. You're breaking up a little bit. You were talking about just the night going into the WWE Hall of Fame, a huge night for you and your family.
Yeah, it was huge, and I'm not sure what you lost on transmission just a second ago, but it was an incredible night, very humbling experience. But on a professional level, my life has drastically changed. I just got back from a 11-day tour in the United Kingdom and traveling all over the place, and being inducted is something that after 32 years in this business, it was one of those things. Obviously, I've never experienced, but it was a shock. I told you that when you came out to the house, before I got inducted, but it's been humbling to umpteenth degree. But I'm very grateful, and it's pretty cool being a Hall of Famer. I'll just say that.
WWE Hall of Famer Jeff Jarrett from Hendersonville joining us on SportsLine. Again, friend of the show, friend of News Channel 5 Sports. All right, Jeff, you never stop moving, you never stop working. You got a big show coming up Friday. Tell us about it.
Well, it's at Station Camp High School, which is right out here in Sumner County. And as you know, John, my family has been in the professional wrestling business for over 70 years, and I've obviously made my home in Hendersonville for years and years. And I have never held an event in a Sumner County school, so to speak. And for us to have the opportunity to walk into Station Camp High and the entire faculty and Coach Tipton, who he's obviously his foundation is the cause for it, and we're super excited about it. Got some other Hall of Famers, the Rock and Roll Express.
Wow.
They're going to be there. James Storm, the War Kings. The crowd. A guy told me just yesterday when he was purchasing tickets, he said, we used to have to go all the way to the fairgrounds to see this kind of show. So we're looking for a great turnout, and it's like I said, a great cause, great night of action. And I'm really excited that I can get home early from a wrestling event. It's a backyard.
Yeah, it doesn't happen that often, I'm sure, Jeff. Yeah, I mean, you're right. A lot of people, they have to go to the arena or to the fairgrounds to see this type of wrestling show. But you've got some for those that follow professional wrestling like I do, you got some recognizable names coming out to this show.
We do, and to go back on sort of, it just came from the United Kingdom, but professional wrestling as a whole is as mainstream as it's ever been. You got John Cena in movies, Batista coming out with a new one, obviously The Rock, the highest grossing actor in all of Hollywood. WWE is going to be on another network, not on CBS, but it's going to be on Fox.
Right.
Just the mainstream where professional wrestling is, and so for me to get the opportunity to be wrestling right here in Sumner County, I'm really, really excited about it. And like you said, we've got household names, and it's for a great cause, to say the least.
Yeah, tell us about the cause that you'd be raising money for.
Shane Tipton is a baseball coach, and his daughter, he lost her, I believe it was 2 summers ago. And so this foundation, pediatric cancer and brain tumor, it's obviously cancer affects just about all of us in one shape, form, or fashion. and you know, illnesses do. And so for us to have the opportunity to give back, obviously, like I said, a fantastic cause. It's something that just, you know, the opportunity. I just feel blessed that we're getting this opportunity. And Coach Tipton and the whole staff at Station Camp, you know, we're going to roll up our sleeves Friday afternoon and turn that gym around and get the gym floor covered, old school style.
Nice.
And get the ring set up, John, which you're very aware of. But, you know, like I said, roll up our sleeves in the community and get in there and raise money and have a good night of wrestling.
Jeff, you know, you mentioned how mainstream professional wrestling is, and, you know, the business has changed so much since you first got in it, since I first started watching it. You know, it seems like every old school wrestler has a podcast now. There's all kinds of different ways to kind of access the wrestlers and the promotions and stuff like that. What do you make of how much this sport and how much this business has changed in the 30-plus years since you've been involved in it?
You basically stole my thunder there, John. No, I mean, literally, you hit the nail on the head. Like, at the end of this month, Labor Day weekend up in Chicago, the biggest independent event, and for a non-wrestling fan, it's basically the biggest non-WWE event is taking place. They sold out in record time, 10,000 tickets sold to the event. But around that, an event called StarCast. Mm-hmm. You can see that on the app. It's a streaming app called FITE, F-I-T-E. Easy to download. You can plop it right into your phone and throw it on your big screen. But it is basically a live podcast convention, and that sold out. And there's the who's who in the wrestling world of podcasts going to be there. It's going to be 4 days of you know, autograph signings and podcasts. There's not going to be one match over the 4 days, and the event has sold out. So that's where the popularity of professional wrestling's at. Like you said, the podcast world, the autograph signing of the world. It's just it's incredibly. It's almost fascinating to me, a guy that like myself, who's grown up in the business and the family's been around 3 generations, to see where the business was and to see where it's at now, and to have these type of events. It's fantastic.
Jeff, are you keeping up with what's going on currently with WWE and Impact and some of the feds around the world?
I'm a wrestling junkie, man. You know that. Yeah. You know, there's so much content out there now. It's impossible for anybody to watch it all, but I watch a little bit of everything. Mm-hmm. So I do. You know, the athletes of today are incredibly gifted. Wrestling is that unique form of entertainment that it's got a little bit of everything, and I just enjoy watching it and watching it grow. And in my mind, I always think, how could you do this better? How could you do this better? What's going to evolve? What's next in our business? And I've got a couple ideas, and me and my team at Global Force, we're definitely looking forward to 2019.
Well, Jeff, I will do a shameless plug for myself. If you're looking for somebody to do a podcast with, look no further. I would love to do that. So
there we go. I love it. Shameless plug.
Let's get a Jeff Jarrett podcast going with your boy JB. How about it?
You know, and all kidding aside, I have since the Hall of Fame, I've been approached by several of the podcast companies and some other personalities, and actually a couple of people who want to write a book and want me to co-write an autobiography or however that goes. And you know, I'm not done yet. I appreciate it, but I am taking, and I will tell you this, John, I am taking the podcast offers very seriously.
Good, you should.
But I am taking podcast offers. So get in line, big boy.
I will definitely do that. One more time, this Friday's event, it's at Station Camp. One more time, just tell us about that real quick.
Friday night, VIP, you can go to globalforcewrestling.com. That's globalforcewrestling.com. You'll see the event there. Click on that. You can get your tickets. You can buy them at the door. VIP entrance at 5:30. Regular doors at 6. Show starts at 7. You're going to want to get there early from ticket sales and all that. We're super excited. But as I said, some other Hall of Famers, the Rock and Roll Express. Superstar Bill Duntee is going to be there. He's he lived in Sumner County for years. He wants to come out. He's going to be signing autographs. But James Storm, Crazy Steve, the list goes on and on as far as the current stars. It's going to be a great night.
Jeff, always great to have you on. I look forward to seeing you again, my friend. Thanks so much for doing this.
Thanks, John. Have a good evening.
All right, the great Jeff Jarrett, WWE Hall of Famer. Big show at Station Camp this Friday. Definitely you want to check that out if you're a professional wrestling fan. We'll take a break. We'll talk more about the Titans preseason opener tomorrow night in Green Bay, plus your phone calls. Stay with us. SportsLine continues after this.